Oh, there we go. How about that? Man, I am doing terrible. I am sorry, everyone. I had the sound muted, and I now have turned it on. And it's only been about 5 minutes, but we're back here. And so, what we're talking about is the KW Consumer app. The KW Consumer app is an app that you can download from the App Store onto your device or onto any of your contacts' devices. And what it will do for them is it will make it so that when they use that app, they will have their information added to your database, and the information that can then be used to communicate with them. What we're talking about right now, and again, I apologize that the sound was off here, but what we're talking about right now is the KW Consumer app has a little code. And when you signed on as an agent, you were given this little code. It was in the background. It wasn't something where somebody handed you a piece of paper and said, hey, here's your code. A code was assigned to you, and that code allows when someone goes to the website that you give them this code for and downloads the app, it will bind itself to you as the agent. So inside that little code is information about you as the agent. So number one, when we're talking about the consumer app, is where do we find that code? So here I am inside Command. I went from the home page. I'll show you back here on the home page. So here's the home page. To find your KW app information, we're going to come over here on the left-hand side, and we're going to click on Consumer. So we're going to click on the consumer icon, the consumer applet on the left-hand side. And what it's going to do is it's going to take you over to the area where you can build and manage your KW consumer website. This is a website that you can create that will be for all of your friends and family and agents and everybody around the world. When you create that website, you will use this page here. But before you even create that, you don't even have to create it to begin with, but before you create that, you can actually come over here to Site and App Settings. And on the Site and App Settings, under the URLs tab here, is your KW URL. This little guy right here, this little app URL. It's a code with, it's a web address, it's a link, and what happens is when people click this link, if they're on their phone, which we're going to go over and do that in just a couple of minutes, if they're on their phone, it's going to open up their app store, regardless of whether they're Apple or whether they're Android. It's going to open up their app store. And then they can download the app. Now, it's kind of innocuous. It doesn't say anything about you as the agent when they download the app initially. But when they sign up as a consumer on this, they will be able to see you as their bound agent, an agent already tied to the app. Let's take a look at this, okay? So here is my app URL. I can put this URL, copy it, and I can paste it anywhere I want. As a matter of fact, for those of you who are watching on the Facebook Live channel, or if you're watching on the Zoom channel, you can use this. So here, what I'll do is I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to put it into the chat here. So just like that. So what I did is I just put it into the chat here, app.kw.com/KW2B, whatever it is. That little code is me as an agent. So when you click on that, now as a matter of fact, let me go ahead and jump on over here to YouTube's, and I'm going to put that in the comments here as well. Why not, right? Why not? So put that in there. There we go. So now that thing is both in both places there. So now we have a link that people can click, and when they click that link, it's going to take them to their app store. So let's do that. Okay, now if I copy that link here, now because I'm on a PC, and I'm actually on Mac, but I'm going to show you what it looks like when somebody clicks on it and pastes it into their browser inside their computer. So look at this. It takes them to a page here, and it's got my branded information right on the front screen. It says Robert Vincent. Download the KW mobile app for iPhone, iPad, Android via the links below. So depending on which one of you, which one of these you click, it's going to take you there. Now, because I can also put it on the phone, so when I put it on the phone, I can use that and click it as a link. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that thing that I've pasted there, all right, and I'm going to share now with you my my phone. So I'm going to share that screen with you. come over here and share my iPhone screen. There we go. And so on this iPhone screen here, I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like when I open up Safari, or not Safari, I'll use Chrome here. I'll use Chrome and I'll copy this in here and just paste in that URL. Okay, so there it is. And so look what happens here. So my phone is taking me to the Get the App thing here. It says Get the App. So I'll click on Get the App. All right. So it says, okay, we'll open inside your application. Great. Perfect. Boom. Here it comes. It took me directly to my app store for my device, in this case, which is my iPhone. Okay. So having done that, I now can click on the little download button here. And you can see I've downloaded this thing before, so I can download it as many times as I want. So I'll click the little download icon there, and it starts to download my app to my phone, just like any other app, whether you're on the Android, iPhone, doesn't matter. Okay, so it downloaded it here, and it's in my app. Now, if someone was going to search for this, and they wanted to, if you wanted to just have them search for the app, you can absolutely have them do that. Let me come over here, and come on, there we go. So in the App Store, if they search for KW, this is what they're going to be looking for. It's the little red KW with the white background. Now you'll notice that right below that there's one called Kelly. Now the Kelly app is for you as an agent. The red and white KW is for your contacts, for your clients. Don't bother having them download the Kelly app, because that will require a login as if you were logging into your command. Don't do that. Okay. So the red and white KW. So now when I open this app, up here, the first time you open the app, and by the way, the screen projection system that I'm using does not always show some of the dialogue that's on this screen. Right now, what you'll see on my screen on YouTube and everything, it says just the white KW. It says Get Started. But on my actual screen here, it actually says Use Location Services. Make sure you tell anybody who downloads the app, be sure to allow it location services, because that's going to help the searching process when they download your app. So I'm going to click on this Allow While Using App, and now my screen is going to pop up and say, do you want to allow notifications? Tell them to allow notifications. Now the screen looks like this. So say yes on that, and once the allow is done, we'll click on Get Started. Now the Get Started, the first time someone downloads this app, they're going to see this little wizard here. It's a little welcome thing. And what it's doing is it's showing them how to use the app. And it's telling you, look, you can search houses, you can favorite houses, you can use collections to store. It's not a great wizard. So what we're going to do is we're going to count on you as the agent to pass along the information about this app so that people can use it correctly and they can use it well. So I'll click next on the wizard here, and it's going to take me to the next screen of the wizard. It says, hey, powered by the expertise of your KW agent. This is you. When you are passing this app to someone, you're already embedded in the app, so they're going to know that this is you. So I'll click next. Buy, sell, and transact all from the app. It's incredibly powerful to think of the fact that this app, this little tiny app, has a checklist system inside of it that is tied to you, the agent, and the consumer in their transactions with you. It's called the guide, whether it's a buyer's guide or a seller's guide, and it will help them go through the process with you in real time, the process of buying or selling their home. You can customize that guide to make it work for you and your buyers, you and your sellers. So the first one here is talking about the buyer's guide. Then it talks about the seller's guide. Again, very brief, very kind of vague information here. And you'll see in a moment how that really plays into what you can do as the agent. Okay. So now we have insights from your local market, your local housing market, which means when they click on a home in the search area, they will be able to find out information about the neighborhood, the local market, as well as the homes themselves. There's going to be a lot of data. You would expect that. And yes, you can find that on some other apps as well. It is absolutely incorporated here. All right, so I'll go ahead and click on next here. And what it does is it takes me to the login screen. Now let's talk about this login screen. I want you to think of this app as a consumer app, okay? It's literally a consumer app. This is not you as an agent using this app. So when you see this screen, a lot of people click on this and they sign up or log in. And what they end up using is their KW agent information because they think that this is their app. So, well, I better sign in with my KW information. You don't want to do that here, okay? Because underneath the surface here, you're already in this app as an agent because we used your link. But what we're looking to do here is sign up as if we are the consumer. And when you, as an agent, treat this app as the consumer app that it is, you will be able to experience it and use it and understand it as the consumer will see it, use it, and understand it. So when you see this screen, you're going to sign up, but you're not going to sign up with your Keller Williams user agent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign up as a different person here, someone I have in my database. So I'm going to call this Johnny, and it's going to be Johnny Seller, okay? So I'll put in here Johnny Seller. And when I put in the email address here, I'm going to put in an email address that I have in as a special account that I'm going to show you in a moment. It's just a demo account. So it's going to be JMA client, and it's going to be at Gmail. Okay, and then of course you're going to need to create a password. Now that password here is going to be something that as the person using this app, they're going to be able to log in to this app using that password later on. So simply put, I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then A, B, C, D, E, and we'll go ahead and sign up with that. Okay. So I'm going to hit yes, I accept those terms, and I'll click sign up, and it's going to take me all set. So now I have a consumer persona that I have signed into the app with. So it says you're all set, tap anywhere to dismiss, and now me as Johnny Buyer here, or Johnny Seller, whatever it is, I'm going to save that password too. Okay. I am now logged into this app as a consumer. And that's an extremely important part of what we're talking about here. As I'm logged in as the consumer, I can use and learn this app as the consumer so that I can understand what their experience is going to be. The number one thing here is it takes you to the home screen. And the home screen is a map. Quite simply, the map is going to show you homes in the area wherever the map is. If you allowed geolocation, like the location services, then it's automatically kind of zoom in on where you're at right now immediately, right away, because of that location. If you have not allowed location services, up at the top of the screen, and you can't quite see it, I can't point to it because it's my phone here, but in the search bar, when we look at the search bar there, in the search bar, just to the right side of the search bar, oh, look at that. The mouse is actually working on the screen. Oh, I love it. That little arrow right there in the upper right-hand corner of the search bar is the location services. If you click on that, it's going to zoom to wherever you are. And by the way, there I am. That's me in my house, in my home office here. So now by doing that, the users can move around and they can drive around. And if that location services is on, they're going to see houses that are located near where they're actually at. So right now, my neighborhood has no houses. So I'm going to back out a little bit and we'll go over here and we'll look at some of these other houses. Now, I'm not going to go through every single part of this app because it's pretty massive and there's a lot going on, but I want to give you some tips here. Number one, you see some houses here on the screen and they have prices on them. $80,000, $350, $556, $565, $580. That $565 one right here in the middle of the screen has a calendar icon to the left of it. That means there's an open house. There's an open house coming. So if I click on that and it says, okay, there's a new construction 565 at 32 Daniels Drive in Lee. And if I bring this up on the screen so that it's full screen here, you can see that in the middle here, there is the little green calendar icon, and it shows that there's an open house on Saturday from 11 to 1. Your clients, your contacts now have information about open houses wherever they're at anytime. It also has the housing information, as you would expect. The MLS information is here. And as you slide down the screen, or slide up the screen, depending on how you see it, you can actually get information on mortgage. You can get information on the area, Riverlea Commons. You can see more about the listing itself, the home details, and the access, the MLS information, the financial details, price per square foot, the taxes, the commute times. I love this. Commute times. Search for a place to commute to, nearby schools, and then you have private schools as well as public schools, upcoming open houses, Saturday and Sunday, mortgage payment estimators, which has a direct link to Keller Mortgage right here in the middle of the screen, and also Keller Home Insurance, Keller Covered. So just this one MLS listing has all that great detail. Now, when I mentioned earlier when we were talking about the app, I said that this thing also shows you neighborhood information. So nearby homes. So in this area, we can search for nearby homes. We can look at that. We come down to the bottom here, and that's pretty much the whole page. That's just one house, okay? So I'm going to slide all the way back up to the top here, and we're going to look at this one house again. Okay, I'll put it top of the page here. Okay. As I'm looking at the house, look at the top here where there's a little down arrow, a heart, and a little open up in a different window area. That little heart allows me to save that property to a collection. In my case here, it's going to automatically create a brand new collection for me called Johnny's Favorites based on my name that I used to sign in. So I'm going to, save. I'm going to save that house. So this house is now saved. It's got the little heart icon, and it's saved into my favorite area. Absolutely awesome. So now I can go down and schedule a video tour at the bottom of this page, or I can find an agent. But check it out. I don't need to worry about finding an agent because I'll close up this house. I'll get rid of that. And we're back at the home screen. At the bottom right, where it says more, down here in the bottom where it says more. Okay, this is Johnny Seller. We can click on the Find an Agent option here if it's blank. And when we do this, we can search for an agent. So I'm going to search for Robert Vincent. And I see that Robert Vincent in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, this is me. This is me as an agent. Now, in this case here, it did not pull this information automatically, which I'm a little surprised. It should have, because I'm an agent, even though I'm not an agent. And I'm in the database. You can see me here. It should have automatically pulled this, and normally it does. So I'm not sure exactly why it didn't pull my name, but that's the whole point of the branded link, is so that this portion does not have to happen. It's automatically done. So here's my information with my bio, all the stuff that is from my marketing profile. And if I click on Connect with Robert, it's going to say confirm Robert as your agent, and click confirm. And now Robert is now bound to the app, which means that anything that I do in this app, Robert has some insight into, allowing me as the agent, Robert Vincent the agent, to kind of see what's going on, see what people have looked at. And so I can kind of like think of this as being an automatic business card. They're connected with me. They can always go to the more page and look at the view information, and there's my information with my phone number, my email address, everything's right here, my app, my web address. It's a business card on steroids. This little guy right here is your new business card. And if you think of it like that, you're going to really kind of gain a big understanding of how powerful this is. Now, that's the basics of what just happened. We have our app link. We gave it out. Somebody downloaded it. Let's assume for a moment that my name was already popped up in there. It should have been, but it wasn't. Not worried about it. Branding and binding the app to me. But what does that look like for you as the consumer, or as the agent? Let's take a look. So I'm going to come back over here, and we're going to look back in command. So I'm going to go back to my command inside my computer. I'm going to go to my contact screen. And on my contact screen, I'm going to search for Johnny Seller. Johnny, J-O-H, yeah. Oh, let's see if we got it popping in here. Should have popped in. Yep, agent added from Johnny Seller. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my little Johnny Seller. And there he is. It's actually coming in as Jackie Astuto because I had the name in there from another one, so that's okay. I probably should have set that up a little bit better. But this is Johnny Seller because it's using the same email address as JMA Client. By doing this, I now have information about this contact that I can do these communications. I can save searches for Johnny Seller inside my command, and they'll pop up on the app itself. That's a fantastic tool. As a matter of fact, let me do that once for you. I'm going to create a save search. We're going to search by, let's say we're going to search by zip code. So I'll search by zip code. And we're going to say, let's see, so that's it. What is that? 90210. 90210. So in the Beverly Hills area, we're going to search for this. And of course, we want a house that's a decent number. So let's start at, 600,000. Which is probably not available in that area code. And the math, let's say 3 million. There we go, 3 million. Keywords, yeah, we want a pool. So we're going to do a little pool here. Now, by the way, I'm doing this as an agent for my consumer. So by searching this information, I'm kind of loading the deck, stacking the deck, loading the bases for my consumer. And I'm going to publish this for them and say, hey, here's some houses in the zip code that you were looking at, and they're based on these criteria. So let's take a look at them. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. Key fields unsaved has an unsaved keyword. There we go. Pool. Next. So search title is Beverly Hills Pool. Do I want to notify this person? Yeah, I want to notify them right away that they have a brand new search. Instantly, I want that notification to go out, because I want them to be notified of any houses that meet this criteria right away. I can choose daily, not just the one-time deal. Instant is a one-time deal. I can do daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly updates. I'm going to do instant here, and I'm going to go ahead and create the save search. Now, that save search is done. But how does the consumer see it, right? Well, let me switch back over to the app and show you what happens on the app itself. So I've got Johnny Seller here, and I'm going to say, all right, let's go back to the home screen here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stop the app and then reopen it just so that I can make sure that it refreshes. Shouldn't have to do that, but I'm doing it just for the sake of making that happen. So I'm going to click on my saved little icon down at the bottom, which is that little heart icon. And you can see that it's taken me to the saved page. And here is the collection of Johnny's favorites that I chose the house for as the consumer. And then there's the recent saved searches here that were done by the agent, Robert the agent. Now I click on this little view all button, and it's going to take me and show me, look at this pool search in Beverly Hills and check it out. I am now looking in the Beverly Hills area, and if you're not sure about that, I can zoom back out here and show you the Beverly Hills area. It shows you a little green border around the Beverly Hills area, and it shows you the houses that meet the criteria for what I just put in there, from 600K to 3 million. And it appears to me there are not a lot of $600,000 houses in Beverly Hills. I wonder why that is. You'll see that I'm looking at it as a map view. Of course, we know that we can click on any one of these. We saw that when we were in map view before. But we can also click up here in the top right and switch it to list view. And I'll switch it to list view now. So now I have a list view 2. Wow, that's a nice little house. Oh, look at I got an $800,000 house over on Oakhurst. And that's one of the apartment buildings. That's very similar to the apartment building I lived in 30 years ago. And by the way, I'm from California, so some of these places, Oakhurst, I know where that is. San Ysidro. That's San Ysidro Drive down to Beverly Hills. 1.69, that's a nice little place over in Maple Drive. Okay, so Coldwater Canyon. Coldwater Canyon is a gorgeous area. If I had 2.7, I'd buy that in a heartbeat. So a lot of neat things that you can do. Now, any of these can be searched and favorited. So we can say, all right, I want to save this to Johnny's favorites, save that. So I'm bi-directionally communicating with my client, with my contact. Absolutely cool. Remember, they saw my saved search that I, as the agent, made for them instantaneously. And when they favorite something over here in command. I'll go back to command here. So we have our save search here. We can see that what we saved. When I refresh this page, one of the things that we get is in this contacts timeline, we can see what they have liked. So we're now seeing the update of the properties that they showed an interest in. And we can actually click on that. We can click on their properties that they've saved and say, oh, I'd love to know more about this. Here is that Oakhurst Drive property. And we can go through and look at the MLS listing for this. We can also take a look and see that this is courtesy of Mark Miller over in Barcode Properties. So this is a very awesome way for us to connect across to our contacts. Okay, so absolutely awesome here, and absolutely love it. Now, what happens when somebody downloads this app but they want to use the web? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and open up a brand new web browser here. Now, when somebody wants to use the web, let's see if that's replacing my homepage. It is. All right. So let's go to my KW app, which is essentially my KW website. So I'm going to go and put that in here. kwtechtv.kw.com. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm visiting my agent site. What does that mean? Remember in command, I told you that we could make an agent site for ourselves, which is our website as an agent. Well, if we direct contacts that are in our database to our website, here it is, kwtechtv.kw.com. This is my agent website. Stay with me. This is an agent site that we built. Got a home page. I've got up here, I can send them to the About Me page, the calculators that I have, testimonials, my Facebook links. This is my agent website. And if I tell my contacts, hey, go to my website on your computer. Now, yes, you can go on your phone, but let's talk about it on the computer for a second. Go there and log in to the website using your let's try that again. Log in to the website using the credentials that you used, or let's try this again. So let's see. This is going to be what did we say it was going to be? Email address is jmaclient@gmail.com. Okay, and the password that we had given this one was 12345, then ABCDE. Now, logging in as a consumer to my agent website, check it out. What it does is it gives me a desktop version of the app that I can now use for my guide for buying and selling, just as if I was doing it on the app, but now we're doing it on the web, and also all of the saved searches. So here is the Beverly Hills pool search. So yes, I'll say allow location. And there is that same thing. Looks just like any other real estate searching. But now they're able to do it on the web. It's a bigger interface. It's got more going on here. They can go through their saved searches, their own ones that they've selected that they created when they were using the mobile app. So here are a couple of them. And because I did one over in New England and one over in California, it's showing me the whole area here. But I can click on any one of those individual saved properties, and I get that same complete web page that I didn't have to do anything for. It's branded to me. It's now a landing page for them about the property that they were looking at. Absolutely awesome. And better yet, out of all of it, it's still my website as an agent. And what that means is they still have access to the calculators. They have access to contacting me, testimony. They have everything in my website. Plus, as a logged in user to my website, they have access to be able to save and search for properties that they want to look at. So, and save and search. Let's say that we're going to save, look for Denver, Colorado. So maybe we are looking for something in Denver. So we'll search for Denver. Now, if you've ever been to Denver, Denver's a great area. I've been many times down in here to the Englewood area. I have some friends that used to live in this area. They're back in California now. But if we come over here to the Parks area, some absolutely awesome little houses over here. So let's say, oh yeah, look at it. We got a 495 over on South Williams. We'll go ahead and favorite that little guy, and it will add it to our favorites. And guess what? Me as the agent, I now know that Johnny has added that to his favorites. So how cool is this, you guys? We're looking at an app on the phone. We're looking at that website that's created, that's personalized to them. And all we had to do was use our little code. I'm going to go back to the consumer area and show you that little code. It all started because of this little code right here. Okay. We are able to provide incredible service. And when people talk about, building custom websites, building custom portals for their clients to log into, remember, we're really able now to, I'll go back to the Denver one here, the Johnny's favorites, we'll go back to my collections. Save searches, by the way, there's my save searches. We're able now to really, through using the guides that are available to us, both the buying and selling guides, the feeds, the communication between the agent and the contact, all of this stuff, personal connections to your contacts using these tools. So where does it start? Very simply, inside of Command, if you go to your consumer area, and under consumer area, when you land there, there's going to be a button up at the top that says Site and App Settings. If you do not see an agent site here that is configured in the middle, you will need to configure your agent site first. If it's already configured, then we can go over to Site and App Settings, click onto URLs, and copy and paste this link into a text message, an email message, a smart plan, an email campaign, a print campaign, whatever you want to do. You can put it on the back of your business cards, on the front of your business cards. You can create a QR code for this little guy. As a matter of fact, I'll copy that here and check it out. I think you'll love this. QR codes. You guys like QR codes? How cool would it be to have this page as a QR code? Fine. Load up your app link page. Right-click the page and say, create QR code for this page, and it will generate a QR code that you can now download that image, print it onto your flyers, print it onto anything, say, download my app. And this is the link to downloading your app. Gotta be cool. Gotta be awesome. If you want to go back to your home page, your KW homepage here, I'll go back and KW Tech, there we go. Go to the home page here. You can actually put this same thing with that URL. You can right click it, say create a QR code with this page, download that image, print it onto anything you want, put it on your Facebook page, and people can go directly to your website. How cool is that? Okay, so any questions that are happening inside the chat rooms right now? Anybody have any questions at all? I'm going to type a little hello here to make sure that everybody sees that. Hello and welcome. Good. All right, so that popped up in 2 places. Good deal. Again, any questions at all about what we've seen so far, I'm happy to answer. And I think that you're going to kind of dig that. So, okay, let's refresh this, refresh that. Okay. Nice. All right. So we got some people watching here. Good deal. All right. The KW Consumer app is part of the larger picture of your KW Consumer tools. Remember, when we are sharing this app via text message or however we get it out there, this is part of your consumer applet, which includes the site pages. And you saw we had the home page, the About Me page, the widget pages for calculating mortgages and all that. It's also tied into your landing pages. It's tied into your guide builder, where you can specify for your buying and selling guides what the process of buying a home looks like for your clients, and it becomes an individual kind of roadmap for them as they go through the buying and selling process. And when they go to your website and log in, when they log in with their credentials, they will be able to see, if I can get to the right page here, there we go. They'll be able to see and manage their entire relationship with you, do searches, do everything that they need. They can even apply for the mortgages here. It's your tools for you. Okay, so that's going to take us to a good place here. I'm hoping that that'll do it. Okay, that should do it right there. Okay. So if you have any questions about what you've just seen here today, please feel free to reach out to me. Also, this video is going to be available on the YouTube channel as a video that you can watch and kind of go through later. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at robert.vincent@kwclm.com. You can book time on my calendar at timewithrobert.com. You can also visit my Zoom room when we have the tech labs from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 2 to 3. And anytime we meet individually, it's at kwtechtv.com. YouTube live streams, go over to kwtechtube.com, and you can follow right over there just after this presentation is done here and watch this one as well as any other of the pre-recorded videos that we were live before. And of course, we're on Facebook at the groups for KWCLM. All right. So that's going to do it for today. That should take care of it. I think that today's Thursday, so that's the end of the week for the training. Stay tuned. Next week, we got a whole bunch of new classes for you as well. And I know that there's not a lot of people in here, so I'll drop a little teaser for you. We're going to be changing things up in October a little bit to give you more targeted training and a little bit more notice about what's coming up and what you're going to be able to see. So stick around for what's going on in October. We've got some really exciting news. But that's it for now. Have an awesome day, and I will talk to you all soon.